figured let's add something else to my crochet videos. I was able to do a little bit of yarn shopping recently. Figured that I would show you what I got. Typically, so everybody hit the plush craze, right? And everyone went nuts over Bernat blanket, and I hated the feeling of Bernat blanket yarn. Like, touching it made me nauseous. Like, it made me think of something really bad that happened in my past. You know, won't get into that. No trauma dumping today. But, so I did not like it. So then I saw that there was Bernat velvet yarn. So instead of making all the things with Bernat blanket, I made all the cool trendy things with Bernat velvet, and it makes it half the size. It just makes it adorable. It makes it cute. I make a lot of the, like, Tank the Turtle and the Chunky Mushy Boys and stuff like that with those. And they're a lot smaller, but I get the same price as everyone else because they're just so dang cute. So this last a couple weeks ago, I did a show down in Sharon, the Waterfire Festival. I actually shared a video on that, and I had brought like 50 to 60 stuffies on top of all of my wearables and my crop tops and stuff. And I made a Triceratops free pattern, and I made a chunky axolotl free pattern. I did a couple octos, did a couple leggy froggies, did the Tank the Turtle, did the chunky mushrooms. I had a couple penises and a couple boobs, and those did well. But I sold out of everything. And there was never, I can't say never, there were a couple people who heard my prices where my little Tank the Turtles, they only turn out like yay tall. They're about 3 inches at its longest. And I charged $10 for them. And a lot of people, a lot of other crocheters anyway, say that they should be less. And it's like, nope, I sell them just fine at $10 a piece. Works for me. And so I had those starting at 10, and then the leggy froggies with the velvet yarn, they're smaller, they're 10 also. And I did the chunky mushrooms. Some of them were done in the Bernat velvet yarn, and then some of them were done in like the Premier Retro Velvet, which is a thicker velvet yarn. So they turned out a little bigger, so they were $12 and $14. The dinos were a little bit bigger than those, so they were $15. And then the axolotls, same thing. I did some in the Bernat velvet and some in the Premier velvet. And so they were $18 and $20. And other than a couple people who kind of scoffed at the price or heard the price and ran away, there was literally one person who did that. It was funny. I still sold out. It was a one-day show, so 50 some little stuffies, priced $10 to $20 a piece, worked well for me. But I also want to do more of those in different sizes so that I have different price points, because my prices are all based on size. I charge $10 per 3 inches tall. So if it's 3 inches, it's $10. If it's 6 inches, it's $20. If it's 9 inches, it's $30, and so on and so forth. So I figure, in between the 3 inches, you know, it'll vary just somewhere in between the 10 and the 20, or the 20 and the 30. And so I figure if I make some of these same patterns in some slightly bigger yarn, that helps me out. It helps your display look like it has more variety without introducing too many different stuffies too. Because I like to kind of work them like an assembly line. Stuffies are not my favorite thing to do, so it's, even though I've been doing these shows for, I don't know, 10 years or so, I'm just really starting to sell stuffies out of my booth, because I would do like a one-off here and there. It's hard for me to make the same thing over and over again. So that being said, I decided after this big show in Sharon and what I made from it to put some money into the business and buy some yarn, you know, tax expenses. And So I wanted to show you some that I had bought before that I hadn't used, but I started to for this last show. And one of them, it's Premier Pixie Dust. I'll wrap her on my hand a little bit. Very thin. It's about a 4 weight. I like to double it though, and it makes them the same size as my Bernat Velvet stuff. So this one is in the color Periwinkle. This one is Sunshine, which yellow has always been one of those colors for stuffed animals anyways. It's like always the last one to sell, and that's exactly how it went this time around. I had a yellow and pink axolotl. It was the last one to sell. I had a yellow Triceratops. It was the last one to sell. And just, there were a couple different things that yellow is just a very slow sell. So I try to throw it in there, you know, every once in a while. This one is Bluebell. It's showing a little more blue, but it's more of like a tealy kind of color. It's a little lighter, like Tiffany blue almost, what it makes me think of. I have this one. It's Pink Punch. They're also they're glittery. I don't know if you can tell that. I can see it. So this is probably my favorite. There's a leaf or something. My favorite of the colors. Let's see if I can get it to show up. It's really like a really pretty, almost like a lime green. This is showing more of a teal on the video, but it's lime sherbet. And this yarn is so soft. It's ridiculous. I need to make a bunch of green dinosaurs in that yarn. So, the stuff that I actually bought recently. We'll start with what I bought today. That I had no business buying today. Joann's had a buy two, get one free sale this week on quite a few different things. But what I noticed first, and that I've heard recently, is that Bernat Blanket has changed the texture of their yarn, that it's a lot softer. So of course I had to go feel it, and I had to try it out, and I'm amazed, because I hated it before. They still had some in the store that felt like it used to. But you could tell the difference between the old stuff and the new stuff. So I bought some. And let's see, we'll start out. So I do a lot of the Tank the Turtles. It's one of my best sellers. So I got this like cream color. It's almond. And then this one for the turtle shell. It is smoky green. Then this is Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle in the color Seafoam Sparkle. Can you see the sparkle? Yes. It's very pretty. But this was the one that really took my eye. It's lemonade or limeade sparkle. So it's this very bright, vibrant, like yellow green. And it also has the sparkle in it. Then here's tie-dye-ish. It seems a little thinner than the other ones. It's Mossy Hills. And I got this one, which is School Bus Yellow, black. Because, you know, bees. I haven't made any of the bees yet. And then this red, which is Crimson Red. It's not showing up as red as it is in the video. Or in the video it's not as red as it. It's too red. Oh, there it goes. That's the color. That's what it's supposed to be. It's a weird color on my screen there. Anyways, so crimson, because my mushrooms that I make. And then I heard of this yarn from one of the YouTube shows earlier today. And it's dappled, Bernat baby blanket dappled. So it changes from color to color. This one is Ever After Pink. So it's like a darker pink on the outside, and it gets lighter and lighter to the middle. And it's almost like speckled. Then I also got some of the chunky, the Bernat blanket extra. So I got softened blue, which is really thick. And I got vintage white. It's more of like a cream. And I got blush pink. So that's all that. Then last week or so I put in an order at Michael's and an order at Premier. So at, let's see with what I can start with. With Premier, I made sure to get the Premier Parfait XL, which it's so soft. This is, I love how soft this is. It feels a bit sturdier than the velvet that I use, the Bernat velvet. And it's way more like plush, like polar fleece plush, soft. I think that some of these will do really, really great for my stuffies, which is why I got them. This one is sea glass. This one is bubblegum. This one is just yellow. This one is tangerine, which with the Bernat velvet that I've had forever, it's so hard to find a good orange in it. I was able to find it's basically the same yarn, but it was a weird label. It was something I bought off of Walmart. It was a one-off. And it was rolled in a skein like Red Heart and less like these giant balls. Like I really like the quality of it. It's the same as a Bernat velvet, the right shade. But I love this color. It's so nice. I also got the XL in black because I wanted the opportunity to make small bees and chunky bees. But I won't show that one to you. So then from Michael's, I got Sweet Snuggles Lite in a bunch of colors. This is Omphalodes. I'm not totally sure if that's like in another language or something. And anyone knows what that means, let me know, because I'm kind of lost. But same thing, Sweet Snuggles Light in Winter White, which again, another cream color. I got another yellow. This is Daffodil. I broke the ball band on this one. This is Silver. This is Ice Green, which basically is the same as the sea glass. This one is Baby Green. This one is Lavender. And last but not least, this one is Barely Pink. I did get with the Parfait XL, I got 2 of each of those because, well, they're chunky, and even though they're big balls, they don't go as far. I do intend on getting some other colors in that because I realized that even though I have a chunky black and yellow and I have these other chunky colors, I don't have a chunky base color for turtles, which are the big things that I make that sell the best. So I'm gonna have to at least get like a cream or a light tan or almond or something like that for the base of my turtles and go from there. Right now though, I'm gonna hop off here and I'm probably gonna start a different video because I'm gonna do just kind of a time lapse with my crochet while I watch other people crochet. So that way I have more content to post, you know, find my other videos, crochet with me, see what I'm doing. All right, have a great weekend, because today is actually Friday, the 4th. This won't post right away. And the crochet with me won't be till later on in the week as well. So find your cool shows to watch and crochet on.